In every direction we look, the universe tells a story written in movement. Galaxies spiral, atoms rotate, light twists through space. Yet among all these forms of motion, only one has learned to recall itself. Out of cosmic rotation arose consciousness, a pattern of energy capable of reflection, awareness, and memory. Through living minds, the universe remembers what it is, a process in motion. Memory is the quiet axis of existence. It does not halt time, it arranges it. Within a human mind, neural circuits fire in rhythmic sequences, tracing paths that correspond to experience. Each recollection is a recovered motion, electrical charges crossing synapses in a precise order, vibrations of molecules preserved as pattern. To remember is to repeat, and repetition is motion sustained. Our recollection of the past is therefore a continuation of the universe's original spin, carried now in biological form. Every particle that composes us was shaped by antecedent movement. The atoms of our blood once turned within the cores of stars. Those stars collapsed, transferring angular momentum into debris that condensed into new worlds. Our planet's rotation, the heartbeat of its stability, is itself the child of an ancient whirling cloud. Conscious life, emerging on that rotating world, is therefore not apart from the cosmic cycle. It is the cycle grown introspective. The awareness that asks why feels the inherited spin of creation in its own thought. Physics describes how information is never lost, even as matter and energy change form. Black holes, once seen as devourers of knowledge, are now understood to preserve information at their horizons in subtle quantum codes. Entropy, though it disperses order, does not erase the record. It spreads it into wider pattern. The memory of motion is conserved across scales, hidden in the distribution of energy, in the structure of space-time, in the curvature of what has turned. Human cognition operates by the same rule. We do not store static pictures but dynamic traces, correlations that allow the past to remain implicit in the present. When we look at the night sky, the act of seeing is already participation in that memory. The light that reaches our eyes tonight may have begun its journey millions or billions of years ago. Each photon has followed a trajectory shaped by gravity, echoing the motions of the surfaces that emitted it. Perception is therefore archaeology. Within the light now entering the retina lies the record of its motion through time. To observe is to receive memory made visible. Knowledge, built from observation, refines this process into awareness on a universal scale. From the first scholar who noticed the shadow of a sundial to the engineers who measure time in oscillating atoms, humanity has expanded its consciousness of motion. We chart the spin of electrons, the precession of Earth's axis, and the orbit of galaxies. In the archive of science, the universe acquires self-knowledge. We are both its product and its historian. Our observations feed back into the continuum they describe, turning awareness into another form of movement. This feedback reveals a symmetry between thought and matter. The same equations that govern celestial rotation describe the flow of neural activity. Both obey conservation, both express energy distributed through networks of curvature. In a brain, the curvature is biochemical. In a galaxy, gravitational. In both, memory arises when motion repeats along constrained paths, a phenomenon known to physics as resonance and to biology as learning. Where resonance is stable, information endures. Where it dissolves, memory fades. Through language and culture, humans externalize those internal resonances, recording them in symbols and art. A word spoken aloud, a book written, a network transmitting data through fiber and satellite. Each is rotational in essence, an energy pattern repeated across time and medium. Civilization itself might be thought of as the universe documenting its experience through material gesture. Our works, translated into digital archives, may outlast the stars that inspired them, carried perhaps by machines orbiting in the dark when the Milky Way has merged with Andromeda. The act of archiving is another form of resistance to entropy, ordering motion so that meaning persists. Philosophy interprets this continuity as consciousness extending beyond the individual mind. The philosopher Teilhard de Chardin proposed the concept of a noosphere, a collective sphere of thought encircling Earth much like the atmosphere surrounds it, a planetary memory evolving with complexity. In modern terms, the global web of information fulfills that vision. Each signal, each exchange of data, is a filament within the universe's remembrance of itself. Technology has made memory planetary. The movement of electrons in a circuit mirrors the movement of electrons in a star, both preserving an imprint of the universe's history. At a deeper level, quantum physics hints that memory may be intrinsic to reality. The principle of superposition and decoherence implies that every interaction leaves a trace in the universal wave function, a distributed record of possibilities resolved into actuality. In this interpretation, the cosmos is a vast computational process, integrating its own past into every present configuration. The equations of quantum mechanics describe not isolated particles but evolving correlations, relationships that retain the echo of prior states. If true, then the entire universe functions as memory. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. If you enjoy the content we shared today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Time itself, considered through this lens, becomes the unfolding of stored movement. What we experience as the future is simply the next configuration of conserved motion. What we call the past is motion that has already expressed itself but continues to instruct the present through its inertia. Every action inherits a momentum, every idea a precedent. The cosmos does not remember in words or images, it remembers through continuity. In living beings, memory achieves a special refinement because it combines continuity with intention. The human capacity to recall and project transforms motion into narrative. We do not merely react to movement, we interpret it. That interpretive act joins physics to meaning. When poetry describes the turning of seasons as renewal, or philosophy speaks of the wheel of time, these are not metaphors detached from science. They are recognitions rendered in language. The intellect translates physical rotation into ethical and artistic understanding. Memory also defines mortality. Organisms perish, but information survives in genetic code, in objects crafted, in effects upon others. A human life is a temporary pattern of motion made visible against the background of greater cycles. Consciousness records itself through influence, scattering fragments of its path into collective awareness. Viewed cosmically, death is not cessation, but diffusion, energy and memory rejoining the general motion that birthed them. At the grandest scale, even when entropy increases, traces persist. Physicists describe the universe's total information content as conserved through transformations of state. The final photons radiated by fading stars still carry frequencies corresponding to prior movement. They are the slow letters of a script that will never be entirely erased. The heat death, rather than obliteration, becomes an archive so dilute it escapes recognition, a silence filled with encoded murmurs of earlier motion. Seen this way, memory and time are coextensive, persistence organized by rhythm. The universe keeps its account through motion, and life extends that account by awareness. Consciousness is therefore not an anomaly, but a necessity, the means by which motion perceives itself before dispersing. The pattern that started in the first turbulence finds closure only when it learns to reflect back. For humanity, that reflection becomes purpose. To study the sky, to write history, to teach, to create art, These are acts through which the universe prolongs its memory. The equations of astrophysics and the verses of poets both articulate the same fact in different dialects. Nothing truly ends because every transformation preserves relation. The record remains encoded in geometry, light, and thought. In our own time, technology extends this continuity beyond the limits of biology. Digital data, inscribed in magnetic and optical media, adds another tier to the cosmological archive. Artificial intelligence, itself a dynamic system of layered resonance, processes and reorganizes information on a planetary scale. In so doing, it participates in the same function human minds perform, to organize motion into memory. When machines learn patterns from data, they emulate the universe's fundamental algorithm, to recall by repetition. One might ask whether the universe, through such processes, becomes truly self-aware. Awareness presupposes relation between observer and observed. In humanity's observation of cosmic motion, and in the machines we build to extend that vision, the universe achieves precisely that relation. It looks upon itself and recognizes continuity. Every measurement of a rotating planet, every image of a distant galaxy, is a feedback loop between the cosmos and its consciousness. The act of understanding completes the circuit begun at the moment of creation. Even if the physical universe continues toward the long equilibrium described in earlier chapters, the awareness born within it will have fulfilled a fundamental role. Understanding converts entropy into meaning. It cannot halt the dispersal of energy, but it ensures that dispersal is known. In knowledge, the universe finds its mirror. The ultimate stillness, should it arrive, will not be ignorance, but peace, the rest of a system that has completed its recollection. To live within that vast process is to occupy a privileged moment. We are ephemeral, yet through our perception, the universe knows itself alive. Each heartbeat is part of the same motion that turns galaxies. Each thought is an eddy within the larger spiral of becoming. When we gaze into the depths of space, measuring light from ancient stars, we are witnessing not distant events, but the persistence of motion through the dimension of memory. And when we remember, we extend that motion anew. No record endures forever in form, but all motion leaves residue. The pattern of waves on a distant sea, the trace of a planet's orbit, the memory of a song. Each is evidence that movement took place and that it mattered. The universe is such an ocean of traces, and consciousness is the current that notices them. Perhaps that is the final revelation of the turning universe, that motion and memory are one. A cosmos that began by turning continues to do so within every level of existence, culminating in awareness that can name the turn. We are the universe looking back upon its own rotation, realizing that even in stillness, it continues to move, because to remember is to recreate motion within the mind.